if you haven't already realized, all the changes that are done in this program are done in theater. The challenge within theater is that it actually requires you to engage a new strategy, a new tactic, a new way of maneuvering in your world. And many times this is the difficult piece. It's where the rubber actually literally meets the road. This is what we call integration. And so I'm going to give you something that will help you, will be unbelievably powerful if you can use it in the moment. And it's understanding the difference between the map, the compass, and the legend. And the map, the compass, and the legend each have individual pieces in regards to how you maneuver about your day. And depending on where you're at, how you're feeling internally, and the frame of reference that you're living in will be dependent upon which one of these three you access. So the first thing I want to talk about is the compass. The compass is something that's really, for me, it's proven probably the most easily implemented, and at the same time, the most easy to understand. And it's a 0-1 game. It's much like my work in the tech field. When I was working for Gateway Computers, I went and got Cisco certifications, started looking at how programming and everything is really just a 0-1 game. It's either on or off. It's like a switch, right? It's either on and off. What if your decision-making process could be that easy as well? What if you could make a decision in the now in a way that was meaningful and allowed you the ability to give yourself the willpower and the desire to move in the direction, even when it was scary, even when it was hard? The compass will give you that capability. So what the compass is it's looking at how you are defining at the plot, at the narrative level, how you are defining your world. It'll tell you what frame of reference you're living out of, and it'll also let you know what beliefs are keeping you stuck. But the good thing about it is it lets you sidestep all that and get you to the action point. So the first thing we're going to look at is problem versus solution-based thinking. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling that compressed energy, you're in a bad state, maybe you're talking to yourself, you can't get out of it, you're just listening to yourself, beat yourself up, you're not able to get off that train of thought that's kind of got you stuck. Ask yourself, am I focused on the problem or am I focused on the solution? In other words, am I just looking at different problems? Because like you saw in the Patch Adams video, if all you look for are the problems, that's all you can see. So are you looking for the solution? Are you looking down the road and go, okay, this is the solution I'm looking for? Because when you focus on the solution, the problem just becomes temporary. Just how are we going to get there? The second compass I want to invite you to entertain would be fear versus love based narrative. So what this operates, again, all operates at the narrative level. Ask yourself, when you're now listening to the words, the radio station that you're tuned into, ask yourself, am I focused on what I fear? In other words, am I moving away from trying to avoid some pain? Remember, all suffering comes from three things: less, loss, never. Either you're going to get less of something, you're going to lose something, or something's never going to happen, right? So am I focused on what I fear, or am I focused on what coming from love? You might be in a situation where the outcome is the same, but the intent feels different internally. So it shifts you at a deeper level, down in the tectonic level. You're making decisions based upon what you love, not what you're afraid of. So you can't build off of failure. You can only build off of success. And so you have to start from love. It all starts from love. You can take a while to get to that point. I mean, if you're afraid of something and it's like, well, I don't want to act on fear, right? I want to act on love. Get it? So ask yourself, is my language patterns, are they fear-based or are they love-based? And then the third piece, or the third compass that I want to bring you to, is ideal versus circumstances. In other words, are you focused on your circumstances or are you focused on the ideal? Because I would attest to you, most people are more focused on their circumstances, managing circumstances, than they are building the ideal. In other words, they're more in a management mode than a creator mode. And when you're managing a different set. You manage from a different state when you're managing your circumstances, as opposed to when you're building the ideal. So if you find yourself in a train of thought that's a suffering state, ask yourself, am I focused right now on what I'm ideally trying to get to? Or am I just trying to manage a circumstance? Because here's the reality. Anything you chase, you will eventually catch. Correct? True or true? If you're chasing fear, that's all you're going to continue to get. If you're chasing circumstances, it stands to reason, that's all you're going to get. But if you're chasing the ideal and you continually readjust your strategies and the decisions and your actions, if you continually adjust, you will eventually get where you're going if you keep moving in that direction. True or untrue? So ask yourself, if you find yourself in a suffering state, am I trying to manage my circumstances, or am I looking at building the ideal? Because if you look at building the ideal, you can say, what's the next thing I need to do to get to where I'm going? Does that make sense?